Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. NearlySeniorCitizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. I am wearing an older shirt, 24 feet. All he had to do was traverse 24 feet of open air above a raging inferno of burning oil, flaming trees, and the occasional exploding cow. Sure, all he had was 4 feet of mint-flavored dental floss and a handful of ballpoint pens. He had a nervous habit of collecting loose pens from desks as he walked, but this could easily get him over from the boarded-over windowsill to safety over the pit of raging death. Right? That I think must belong to my oldest son, who lives in Montana right now. He's like 22, 23 years old. He's my late wife's son from a previous relationship, but since I was a part of his life since he was 5 years old, I just consider him my son. So I think this is his shirt because, it's just sitting here, and then I stretch my arms out. As you can see, the sleeves don't go very far. And even when I'm standing up, they barely come like this, so it must belong to him. It's a 2X shirt, but I'm washing my jacket and I'm washing my long sleeve plaid shirt along with all my regular laundry, because the other day, last time I went to Walmart, I had to use the restroom facilities, but when I was in there, they didn't have any coat hangers. So to keep my coats, my coat and my plaid jacket from just being on the floor, I had to take them off, but I had to wedge them in one of those handicap bar things between the wall and the bar. So when a toilet flushes, it aerosols all of the contents of the toilet. So it fills the air with a fecal plume that settles over everything. Yeah, thumbs up. Think about that next time you're in your bathroom. But that means the walls are coated with like all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I wore the coats and such back home, but they need to be washed. Ugh. So that's in the wash, and I'm cold. I am freezing. Ever since I got down to half my body weight, I've gained 30 pounds since. I'm at around 190-ish. I don't really like that, but there you go. Ever since then, I'm just freezing all the time. So I gotta wear a jacket to stay warm. I don't need a lot. My body actually pumps out heat quite a bit and quite efficiently, but my brainstem just keeps telling me I'm freezing all the time. Thumbs up. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about was what I watched on a video the other day. So I'm telling you a quick run through of a video because it was amazing. It's one of Simon Whistler's top 10s type channels, where Simon Whistler's just this, I think he's a British fellow. Yeah. And he's bald now. He used to have some hair, but now he just shaves it all off. He never used to have a beard. Now he has a beard, and he's got a distinguished accent. But his channel, he does all sorts of things, like top 10 stuff. And there was one of them, and they're pretty deep and intense, was the things that genetics controls in your body that you are probably not aware about. Now, I've been aware of the whole nature versus nurture controversy and thought, because ever since I've been alive, there's been this whole, are human beings controlled by nature, genes, or nurture, how you're brought up? And more, it's everything is genetic. Everything is genetic. They have found if somebody's lazy, there's a gene for that. It's not their fault. It's not a moral failing. There is a gene in your body that if it expresses, you're lazy. You don't want to do things. It's not a moral failing. It's your genes. There's how well you deal with stress. Just the regular stressors of life. There's how much you're willing to travel. There's a wanderlust gene. If you have that gene, you don't stay at home. You go out. You go places. You travel the world. You don't like to stay home. has nothing to do with what's up here with just your thinking. It's in your genes. And then there's driving skills. Apparently, 3 out of 10 people on the road have a genetic thing where it is difficult to learn. It is difficult for any skill that they have to get better, which means driving too. So 3 out of 10 people on the road are horrible drivers. It's not their fault, and they can never get better. Ever. They can't. They're those people that always bunking and running into stuff. It's not their fault. It's genetic. And then, of course, we've already known your proneness to addiction. I mean, I learned when I was going through rehab, if you have one one alcoholic parent, you have a 50% chance of being an alcoholic yourself. If both of your parents are alcoholic, you have an 80% chance of being alcoholic. This is for everything, every drug. There's a genetic component. Joy. Further, since I've got the list off to the side, violence. There is a gene that if it's expressed, you are violent. Yeah, you shouldn't be, but how can you be blamed when your body, your whole body, everything in your body tells you this situation just happened, violence is the answer? Yeah, you've got to slow down and stop, but your first reaction of violence is not because you're just a bad person, it's your genes. And then your food tastes, of course, the things you like to eat, that's genetic. Your musical tastes, the kind of music you like, has a genetic component. So the stuff that you like isn't just because, hey, I happen to like it. The stuff that you like is because your genes inside of your DNA said before you were even born, this is the kind of sounds that this person is going to find pleasurable. And then you were born. And son of a gun, you do. How about that? Mate selection. There is a gene that they have discovered that if you and a person that you'd like to date both have very similar genes in this particular range, then you don't care about each other. Families tend to have that same gene. Keeps you from performing incest. Doesn't always work, but it's an anti-incest gene. You find as a mate someone far more pleasurable who has a far different set of genes in that area than someone who has more similar set of genes. How about that? And then the last one. This one is weird. Phobias. Because they took a family of mice. They exposed them to cherry blossoms, and then they gave them electrical shocks. So they became afraid of cherry blossoms. And then they stopped doing that and let them breed for a few generations. And then they took some generations of those mice down the road and exposed them to cherry blossoms. And you know what? Those mice were afraid of them. Because their parents were afraid of them. The parents' fears changed their own DNA to influence their children. That seems so counterintuitive, and yet, I mean, it's like, let's say you have a bad experience with spiders or needles. Your child might be afraid of needles because of your fear. Bizarre. But fascinating. And I just wanted to talk about that because I love learning stuff, and things that are fascinating like that are just, I love it. Definitely a good thing. A definite thumbs up. There was more that I wanted to talk about. I mean, I have therapy today, so I'm kind of in a rush no matter what. It's 7:08 right now because I had to start recording at 7 so I can start editing by 7:30, so I can start rendering by 8, so I can upload by 8:30, so that I can start my therapy by 9. So, on the other hand, I still slept rather well. I mentioned yesterday how dark it gets at night now. Well, but at night, in the afternoon, I start falling asleep. It's just my body wants to go to bed. I fought hard to stay up as long as I could last night. It was a struggle just to stay up here until 11 o'clock because I was just, from 5 o'clock on, I was ready for bed. Just wanted to go to bed. But I can't go to bed at 5 or I'm going to be up by midnight. So finally, at 11 o'clock, I went to bed. And again, oddly, sleeping on my right side. I do not know why now, aside from just my body not just being tired of being on that one side, because I'll try to sleep on my left, and I can. Because after my back hurts too much after sleeping on my right, I got to flip over onto my left. The left side doesn't hurt, the right side does. But now, the first thing I do is I flip over onto my right, where it hurts, and then I drift off through pain. And then I sleep that way. And I don't understand it personally, but I guess I gotta go with it. Definitely a thumbs up. Oh, there was something else I was going to mention about pain and sleeping on one side versus the other. But of course, being tired, fibromyalgia, all these fun things, I have no idea what I was going to say. Now, last night, I did not go walkies. There was a reason I didn't go walkies, and I can't even remember what it was. There was a specific reason I was staying in, probably because of therapy this morning, but now I can't even remember why, because I should have gone walkies. I really should have. It wasn't even that bad. I mean, it wasn't even raining, so good golly, Miss Molly, I have no idea. Still, the fact of the matter, even though I can't remember why I didn't go last night, which means tonight I need to go, so that'll be good, a definite thumbs up. I'll walk to Walmart and back. I like to do that. It is a good thing. Also, I wanted to double check on that spider up there, just to make sure she was, like, alive. And yeah, I stood from like 3 feet away, because she's over the hamster cages in the window, like, so she's far away. Even if I got close, I'd still be far away. And I went, and I blew on her, and she tucked in her legs. So she's alive, and she's staying right there. I can only hope that she's finding and catching and eating bugs. I mean, I sort of want to try and help her, because I don't want her to die now. My parasocial relationship with an arachnid that doesn't even know I exist, other than just a strange shape that moves around in the room and might be threatening, might not. But gosh, I don't want her to die. I mean, she's going to eventually. I just don't want her to starve. I don't feel... My God, what is the word? I don't feel responsible for her, but I just don't want her to perish, because that's sad. But life is life. So, yeah, just been thinking of various things and trying to live my life as best I can. I need to clean out some more of my hamster cages. Now, I don't do a full, complete cage change. Blah, that was hard to say. Because this one thing that I watched talked about how stressful that is. And it is. It is very stressful on your hamster. They suggest if you're going to do it, just do partial change. Excuse me. Like a quarter of the cage at a time. So generally what I do is I find the worst spots of their homes. It's hard to say home and cage. I've said cage my whole life. I'm trying to change that to home. I change about half of their home at a time. Like whether it's whether it's lengthwise, their bin is like this, and I'll cut it in half and then just take out this stuff and then put in new, and then they're fine that way. Or whether I cut it down long ways, which I did last time with Dr. Snurf, where his cage, long this way, and I cleaned out the one long side and left the other long side okay. So definitely a thumbs up. You should spot clean with, like, if they get wet or vile or nasty, just spot clean. But on the whole, don't change the whole thing altogether, because that's just so stressful for them. Definitely a thumbs up. You want to make sure they're clean, but you don't have to really worry so much about their droppings. Because they are so dry and compact, they're clean, and that's fine. And the fact is, even when I clean up the cage down here with even Gojira, quite frequently she will store her droppings and her food in the same place. And then she'll have to dig through it to get her food. The cage is clean. She's got fine clean spots that she could put her food in, but she doesn't. She stores it together. Hamsters. Another awesome thing, really quick. Oh, that I don't have time because it's so late. So, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now, except accidentally, peripherally. I'm good peripheral vision. But I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. The fact is you left a comment. Thank you very much. If I mispronounced the username, no disrespect is intended. And it is a range of 20 to 25 because they've already seen me forget things, but even though I count American Sign Language, I still forget, even though it's right in front of my face. Somebody call it my Chrome. We have Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Sherwinson Baswell, boy, I'm nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. Cameron Salvage 99903511 Kent, greatly appreciated. Wolfgang Engel, greatly appreciated. Jurgen Lenting, thumbs up and thank you very much. Bullcrap TV, thumbs up and thank you. William Moon, greatly appreciated. Nathan Trowbridge, thumbs up and thank you. Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. Confused Owl 29, always good to see you in the comments. Thank you for sticking around and watching. Kathy Kisscat, always good to see you in the comments. Thank you very much. Nebuchadnezzar, greatly appreciated. Tristan Griffiths, greatly appreciated. Joshua Hummel, thank you very, very much. Giancarlo Plaza, I sure hope I'm close, thank you very much. Frixo, greatly appreciated. Daniel Marin, thank you very, very much. Stephen Blanchard, greatly appreciated. Zombie Wolf, good to see you in the comments, it's been a while. Guillermo Tironi, I sure hope I'm close, bet I'm not. Bailey Snyder, greatly appreciated. GU Zoid, thumbs up. Sort of an unpleasant person, but still was not abusive, so thank you for having left a comment. Underfell Flower, thank you very much. Ethan Gallant, greatly appreciated. And last but not least, Strictly 90s. Thumbs up and thank you all. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is a very, very good thing. When you're depressed, you need to get out of the echo chamber of your own skull, because, oh boy, it's not a good echo chamber when you're depressed. Nothing but bad stuff. So thank you all so very much. It is greatly appreciated, definitely. And if you could check out my various things down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, that would be beautiful and awesome. Like one of these beautiful and awesome people. Now, if you wanted to help me out but didn't want to send money to one of these places, GoFundMe or Patreon.com, I have a PayPal link down below if you wanted to send money that way. And if you wanted to help me without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list with all sorts of things like hamster food, cat food, silly things, non-silly things. If you could help me out that way, that would be very cool as well. Now, don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. And hit that bell. Much better. Then that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Definitely a thumbs up. So I have this video, I have another video to edit and render, so even though I'm going to be until 10 o'clock with therapy, I'm still going to have videos up. Yay! So, and then I've got videos to edit and render record, edit, and render for later on. Definitely a thumbs up. So hopefully I'll get all the things done that I need to get done. Hopefully you can get done all the things that you need to get done as well. Definitely a thumbs up. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. And I'm just going to get things together so I can get my therapy done. Definitely a thumbs up.